So I left off telling you the initial part of trying to rent, and now I'm actually in the unit. In the first experience of what I call, I didn't know this at the time because it was just a first experience of it, but I really believe there was such a trend of this kind of stuff that it was part of a ongoing effort to make me uncomfortable, um, and to really not, they didn't want me to renew my lease because there was a couple times that I had to escalate to the corporate office because of them not servicing me. And really, it created a revenge mentality, in my opinion, based on the experience I had, and close to 10 mafia like tactics was basically about revenge, um, because it was very targeted and it kept, there was different things, too many things that I've never experienced ever, ever renting. Never ever experienced these things. And it was just like always something I had to deal with. It was just like there was no peace and quiet. There was no quiet enjoyment. There was like, there's someone who's purposely doing this because it was just too many things. So I wish I could share those details with you right now, but because of the trial, I won't be able to share those details, or a possible trial, I should say. Just because you file a case in court doesn't mean you're going to have a trial. Let me tell you, Texas will let you know that. Texas is so different, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that too. But I can definitely tell you that the experience, it was almost like you had really someone who was a leader of the mafia, just like with revenge, wanting payback. It was really bad. This is during COVID. I have to mention that because if I leave that off, you won't understand, like, why did you stay there? Well, this is during COVID. Um, and yeah, there was two, well, the stuff really happened at one property in terms of the lawsuit. Um, there's another property that I did experience with Cortland, and that was a bad choice, really bad choice. I shouldn't have. I don't know. I'm just, sometimes I could be naive, and I really want to give people the benefit of the doubt and really just isolate things. Like I isolated that Cortland Glade Parks, was just because of all those managers, not even thinking that it's just could be Cortland's mentality to treat tenants that way if you share issues. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I can just tell you they're very adversarial towards me. Um, and so yeah, I won't get into all those details right now, but I can just tell you that it's lacking professionalism and it's lacking what they should really be doing as property managers. Like they're acting like um, this is some small town and they just want to do payback. And honestly, you have to keep in mind, I'm a tenant who pays their rent on the early most of the time. Like 99% of the time, I'm paying it early. I'm talking like a week or 2 weeks early. And I'm super quiet. I abide by the rules, of course. I kept the apartment looking like new because that's just how I live anyways. I live super clean person, neat and clean. And so this is, they have some issues within them that makes them have some type of hate towards someone like me. That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with anything else because I'm like the perfect tenant. I'm so quiet. I'm so considerate that even though I could do my laundry like early in the morning when I get up, I always wait till after 10 just to be considerate to the neighbors so they don't have to hear a machine running super early in the morning while they're trying to sleep. That's just how I am. Just considerate towards other people. Um, was that consideration back towards me? No. But it's okay. I can't live you I think that it's important to live your life for who you are and not because of how others are. I would tell you it was really tough living at Cortland. So let me get into some of the other details. So the biggest thing that I discovered going through all this experience, when you're stuck in a situation where you're experiencing like 10 like mafia like actions towards you, what do you do? And you have to keep in mind when it's going on. To hear it, it's easy. But when it's going on, you don't know it's coming. It just happens in this, and so like what do you do? Well, if you're a single female living by yourself and you just really are stuck sometimes, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it's COVID and you're high risk for it, and you're like, this is not the time to move, but really you should move. Really you should, but it's just not because you're high risk for it. Um, so you just keep praying that at some point there's going to be some type of change because it seems like they do switch their management around. Um, and so you're just praying that maybe that'll change it up because I really felt like Desiree Dollison, because there was the complaints were mainly about the service being provided by her, that she definitely, and this is alleged because it's not proven yet, but it's alleged that she had something to do with the mafia-like experiences. It's alleged until it's proven. But it was just a consistency, and it started with when she took over. So that's why it just feels like she had a lot to do with it. And she actually did the action that caused me to have an injury. So it really feels like serious revenge on her part. And she was very passionate about her action when she did it, when it caused me the injury. So don't know what to say on that except that, it'll be nice when there's a conclusion to this. And feel free to, follow me or uh, on YouTube or reach out to me. I will definitely keep you posted on the progress. It's a lot of work and it's very expensive, so I definitely want to tell you to please, 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 whatever you do, be careful about where you rent. Um, Not only read the really good reviews, like they have really good reviews, and no one would know what I experienced because I first did not write about it. It was my decision. I was like, I'm not going to put it on a review, but eventually I did. So I did write it because I felt like, there's another side to those reviews that you're seeing on there. And another consistency I saw in the reviews in Cortland Glade Parks was that I really didn't see too many of the people who resembled me. And to me, that probably says volumes about how, and I don't know this for a fact, but it could indicate that maybe they had an experience or were treated indifferently too. Mine wasn't just a treatment of indifference. This was a horrific and horrible, horrible treatment to another human being. And I just wish I could share the details because if you heard them, you would be shocked at the behavior of Cortland. Um, okay, so I'm going to just go through a couple of other things here. Now, so far what I've went over with you, this isn't rehearsed or anything. It's not scripted. I am talking to you from my heart about my experience. And I'm doing this to help you because if I would have known what I was going to experience, I would have never rented from them because I am injured now because of them. Allegedly, I have to say that because it hasn't been proven yet. Okay, so when I moved in, and I didn't say this, when I did move in, I remember you can kind of feel the tension. I mean, keep in mind, I never met these people. All I did was call to ask about the property, and then I move in, and there was no greeting. They knew that I was coming from another state. There was no greeting. It was very cold like. Yes, in the office, and just very horrible, horrible. I've never felt that ever, ever before while renting. Not once have I ever felt unwelcomed, and I did. Um, so I just feel like with the experience, allegedly tried to disregard me as a tenant by inconveniencing me. They did just things to go, in my opinion, to go out of their way to make me uncomfortable. The disregard, disturbing my items, intimidation via physical presence, not providing service, trying to make me uncomfortable, creating a false presence, the forced entry. This person, Desiree Dollison, did a forced entry into my unit when I wasn't dressed. And why? Retaliation. Retaliation for what? Because I asked for something to be serviced. I asked for them to fix some major maintenance issues. My floor was vibrating a lot. And I don't know if it was intentionally done or not. I can just tell you it was vibrating a lot, and it was very suspicious to me because it only happened, guess what? When the office was closed. So maintenance wasn't around, no one's around, so the office is closed, and now I'm experiencing something that I can't get help with. So it's horrible, horrible. It was something where you can't even sleep, where you can't even sit comfortably on your sofa and watch a movie or relax or sit at your desk and try and get things done. It was horrible, and they wouldn't fix it or said, well, I won't get into the specifics. It was just never fixed. So I did get the city of Euless involved. And let me tell you, government and stuff, you don't know if they have relationships with these 500 million revenue generating companies, and if they're going to really help you or if they're going to really protect that $500 million company. Hello. So it was something that I really can't get into all the specifics of, but I feel like I was in the twilight zone. And I still feel that way. It's like, did this stuff really happen? Because I'm the person who's like the opposite of this. I avoid any type of drama in my life. I like a simple, quiet life, not unnecessary stress. And this was all thrown on me. I did not ask for this, not in the least bit. I'm going to stop here and we're going to just go ahead and start another recording.